What's up? How you doing? My name's Tyler Jakowski. I'm a content creator. I have gained 5 million followers across platforms. And recently I've seen this trend going on social media where people are giving tips to content creators, which is great. I think that content creators, we should be dividing and conquering. We should be talking to each other and giving each other real tips. But here's what I've noticed. I've seen a lot of people who are pretty obviously trying to take advantage of smaller content creators, which I will have no part of. To me, it just feels slimy. It feels wrong. It feels like it's probably not actually going to help. Over the last 7 years, I've developed platforms across TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, long form and short form, and they're all very successful pages. I have monetized all of my pages, and they all range between 150,000 and 3.7 million followers. I want to make it clear that I don't believe that there's one set structure to being successful on social media. I'm a firm believer that each creator brings their own essence into their page, and that alone can make them massively successful. However, I want to give you 5 tips that I would take if I was to completely restart my social media career from scratch. I wrote down some things that I think of every single time that I post, and I don't think I left anything out. I think I really put in everything that comes to my mind when I post. So without further ado, here's how I got to 5 million followers. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is consistency and how often you post. I've seen a lot of people on social media saying that you need to post 25 times a day, and if you post 25 times a day, you'll end up blowing up. And here's what you need to know about that method. If you're going to post 25 times a day, it's with the hope that one of them explodes and you gain, 1 million followers off of that one post. But you need to keep in mind that all those other posts that you put up every single day are still going to exist. And I need you to understand that it looks horrific to your viewers. So what I'm going to offer as sort of a separate way of looking at posting, you need to develop a sense of predictability in your posting rate so that your followers will feel comfortable and confident knowing when they can expect content from you. Now, that does not mean that you have to post 10 times a day. That doesn't even mean that you have to post once a day, but it does mean that you want to have a set schedule of how often a week you're going to post. If it's every other day, great. If it's once a week, fantastic. But you need to set that pace and you need to do everything in your power to stick with that pace. Where I'm at right now, I try to do 1 post a day. If I fit in 2, that's fantastic. But my followers can trust that once a day, I'm going to have some type of content prepared for them. Now, when you're considering the rate that you want to be posting at, you need to consider what's within your ability. Do you have the bandwidth to post once a day, or should you set every other day, once every 3 days? On my YouTube, I do a series called Classroom Horror Stories. I read stories that people send me. My subscribers know that every single Friday at around 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, they can expect a video from me. This gives your people watching a sense of comfort in following and subscribing because they can trust that you're going to provide for them what they're coming to your page to see. It also provides a sense of excitement and kind of like something to look forward to. My subscribers know that at the end of the week, they get to see all these insane stories that teachers and students send in, and that might help them through their week. It allows you to develop a relationship with your subscribers and followers very, very early on. So step number 1, choose the rate that you're going to post at, and you need to be consistent. Tip number 2, you need to use your community to hack the algorithm. Now, this comes with the awareness that there is no specific algorithm. I personally believe that the algorithm is constantly changing. And I think they do that on purpose so that there isn't like this monopolization of how to grow. And there aren't just like these 3 people who know exactly what they need to do, and then they have 100 billion views and everybody else has 1. They want to keep the algorithm changing so that when people come on and they're brand new to the platform, they try something, it works, they get hooked, they keep posting. Now, while I am a believer that the algorithm is constantly changing, there are some things that I think can really, really help. I'm also a firm believer that there are certain things that you can do to improve the potential that your video will blow up. Here's how you do it. The first 5 minutes after you post, in my opinion, are the most crucial to how big the video will go. During those first 5 minutes right after you post, what you need to do is you need engagement. You need early engagement. So here's what you're going to do. You probably have a group chat with some of your friends. You might have some family members. You might have a significant other. You're going to copy the link to your video and you're going to send it to as many people as humanly possible. You're going to send it to people who you trust will watch it all the way through, like, save the video, comment something that's 2 sentences long, at least 14 words, and then they're going to click share, copy, link. If you can get 20 people to do that process, you are going to make your video way more likely to actually blow up. I have my community of people who are willing to watch my video all the way through and engage with it. Now, I'm very, very lucky in the fact that my community is a lot of subscribers and followers, but when you're first starting out, all you need is that one community of 10, 20, if you have 50, amazing, all these people to do that engagement, and it takes the algorithm and says, wow, this is a really important video. This should be seen by everybody, and then it'll push it to the world. That tactic has been so productive on every single page that I've ever started. So that's my second tip. Okay. Tip number 3 is when you post, you need to engage and you also need to promote engagement. Here's what that means. Immediately after you post, you are going to be the first person to comment. I know that it sounds weird and I know that it sounds stupid, but bear with me here. You're going to be the very first person to comment on your video. And you're going to comment something that will get other people who see your video to respond to that comment. For example, if I post a video of a classroom horror story, I'll comment something to the tune of, what would you do if this happened in your class? What that does psychologically is it gets people to want to interact. It gets people to want to spread their opinion on how they would respond in that scenario. And we all know how humans are. We love to get our opinion across to everyone that we possibly can. So it's an opportunity to meet people in the middle and show that their opinion is actually really important and you can get it out to however many million people will see this video. Those comments in response to your first comment are going to absolutely ignite your algorithm. And the more people you can get responding, the better. Now, when I say that you need to engage, I mean you're becoming a content creator. You want millions of followers. You need to show that you care enough about your followers to respond, to engage, to make them feel special for commenting. Because you got to keep in mind, the viewers run your channel. You don't run your channel. The viewers are in charge of your channel. So if somebody has the willingness to go into a video and comment something, especially a couple of sentences, you need to respond to those comments and thank them for their thought or continue the conversation with them. Maybe you pose a question and those people can respond in another comment. All of these different things are going to make you look more like a human and less like this random influencer that doesn't care about the people that comment. Now, here's the next part of the engagement factor. When you reply to a comment, you can reply to a comment with a video. So here's what you're going to do. On Monday, you posted a video and somebody commented saying, "This is crazy. Post a part 2. What you're going to do is you're going to hold down that comment and then this little thing is going to pop up. At the bottom of it, it's going to say reply with a video. And then you're going to make a part 2. Okay. This works for a couple of reasons. It pulls that comment up to the very, very top of your comments. So everyone who goes into your comment section will see that person's comment and they'll think to themselves, they're like, oh, wow, this person really loves this video. I should go watch the rest of them. The second thing that it does, it creates almost a playlist because when you see on my videos somebody's comment up on the side, you can click that and go to the comment in question. That brings a person to my last video. That brings a person to the comment section of my last video. That's a view and that's a potential extra comment. That means that you're not just getting virality on one video, you're getting virality on however many more videos fit into that stream of replies to comments. Do you see how that works? Now, the best time to use this is when a video is absolutely exploding. Now, if you want to monetize on TikTok, you're going to need 10,000 followers. You're going to need to post over a minute. It's very helpful to have a shorter video that blows up because it's just easier to watch all the way through. But you can use a comment from that shorter video that's exploding on a longer video that you're trying to monetize and get people to go watch. So if you can use that system to your benefit, you have a much higher chance of doing well. Okay, that's everything that I had for engage and promote engagement. Let's go to number 4. Okay, I want to teach you something that I actually learned very, very recently about the video quality that you use. And now I can only speak from the experience of having an iPhone because I'm currently filming this with an iPhone. But there's a trick that you can do on your iPhone to make your videos higher quality. When you go into your video, you can see on the top right that it's going to say 4K 30. These are the standard settings for an iPhone quality. You can change that. If you go up there and you press 4K, it'll switch to HD, high definition video. Go up and you click that 30, it's going to switch to 60, which I'm almost positive is 60 frames per second, clearer video. You're going to do this and you're going to use the back camera on every single video that you make. And it is going to level up your video quality like you have never seen before. That much I promise. Now, aside from what you can change on your iPhone about your video quality, it's very, very important that you do what you can for lighting and audio. Now, I'm currently looking at 2 different Sensine ring lights, and I'm sitting in front of a window, okay? I am of the opinion is more than enough for you to have high quality lighting, okay? There is more you can do, but not everybody has hundreds of dollars to spare for lighting fixtures. I am a stern believer that natural lighting and the light that comes from the sun, or especially on a cloudy day, is very, very high quality lighting, especially the fact that it's budget friendly. Now, in terms of audio, I'm using a Rode Pod mic. I got this as a Christmas present. It is pretty expensive. However, it's not the only option for microphones. The company Yeti makes a lot of different microphones at a bunch of different sizes and a bunch of different prices. They have microphones that are very, very cost effective, and they sound almost professional. I used one of the Yeti microphones for the first 3 years that I was doing long form content, and it was beyond productive. I would recommend those to anybody. If you have the ability to step it up as your content creation journey starts to get monetized and you've raised the funds for that, you can move up to a more expensive microphone. You see people on every podcast with those Shure microphones. They're incredibly expensive, okay? Don't feel like you need to go to the best microphone you can possibly get in order to get decent audio. It's not necessary. But what I want you to keep in the back of your mind about step 4 with the lighting and the audio is that when you make high quality videos, it shows your viewers that you care about the quality of the content. That's actually pretty important to them. They see that you care. You're not just throwing together some video like you don't care at all. It shows that their experience is important to you, and it has a much higher turnover for following and subscribing, okay? High quality video will always do better. That's just a fact. The last piece of advice I want to give you is about editing. And I want to tell you exactly what process I go through when I edit videos for TikTok or Instagram or anything. When I'm about to make a video, I do what I just told you to do, and I change the settings on my iPhone. I change from 4K to HD, and I change from 30 frames per second to 60. I use the back camera, and I aim it at myself, and then I just talk. I do not stop and start. I don't move the camera at all. I just talk and I do what I need to do. If I screw up on a sentence, I go back and I cut it. I'll explain that in a minute. This video that you're watching right now, I have probably screwed up 100 different sentences. It doesn't matter. Do it over and over and over again until you get a sentence where you're ready to post it. Once I'm done filming, it's usually 3 or 4 minutes long because I've screwed up on a sentence, or I've forgotten what I was talking about, or I just do my little millennial stare into the abyss. What you're going to do is you're going to bring that video from your camera roll over to CapCut. I use CapCut whenever I edit. This is not an ad. I'm literally telling you exactly what I do. I bring it over to CapCut. When I'm editing, the number one thing you need to keep in mind is that most of the people who see your video have the attention span of a squirrel. I'd like to preface that by saying I do too, okay? People in my generation, my parents' generation, and the kids of today have no attention span, and they will not waste their time on something that doesn't already show that it's trying to save their time. Here's how you're going to access that for these kids. You're going to split your video so that all the viewer is seeing is parts where you're talking. Watch how I'm editing the video right now. It goes from one point to the next. There are no pauses. It doesn't waste your time. All of the most successful content creators follow a certain type of editing style where it gets straight to the point. It's clean, it's straightforward, it saves time. And I'm not saying that you can't just get on the camera and go, but you have a much higher likelihood of somebody watching your video all the way through if it's edited like you have urgency, okay? Now, with these videos being edited, here is what I think might be the most important piece of information I give you today. If you're building your following from zero and you're trying to get to the point of monetizing, you have 10,000 followers of time before you need to worry about the length of your video. When you're posting in your first couple of months, just focus on funny, entertaining, informative, highly edited quality content. Post a video that's 15 seconds long, 10 seconds, 30 seconds tops. That way there's high viewership. They're going to watch all the way through. They're going to want to engage because of all the other steps I showed you. And then when you hit 10,000 followers and you're monetized, then you can worry about making the minute-long content that you need in order to make money off of it. It's much, much harder to get a full watch through on a 2-minute long video than it is on a 20-second long video. You're going to use that to your advantage. Also, there's no need to edit down a 10-minute long video if you're just starting out and you're trying to gain virality. Get in, get your point across, make it funny, entertaining, whatever, and get out of there. Because trust me, your viewers will swipe for the littlest reason. Okay, listen, I appreciate you guys watching all the way through. I want to preface this all by saying, like, no one person's advice is going to be perfect. There are things that I told you today that might not apply to your content, and sometimes success on social media has a lot more to do with time and place. But I want you to try out some of these strategies if you're trying to grow on social media, and talk to me. Let me know what works. Let me know what doesn't work. And if there's something that I didn't cover in this video, let me know. I'll keep this Ask an Influencer video series going for as long as I need to. I want to do whatever I can to help you make a career out of content creation. So let me know if you want a part 2 of this. I'll jump right on it. See ya.